Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick update on where I am with my goals at this point. I've fleshed out the sheet that I'm going to be using. Mostly the 1 year feels the most complete, and the 3, 5, and 10 still need some work. So it's taking a little bit more time, but I think the time is worth it, especially to get those activities in the right order. And another interesting thing that I'm noticing, which I was kind of questioning as I was going through this process, was if I would have things that I could start to do now, or say even this year, that would contribute to my 3, 5, and 10-year goals, and the answer is definitely yes. So it's pretty interesting to see sometimes achieving a goal in the 3 or the 5 year actually unlocks the ability to start working toward the 10-year. I'm sorting through all that, and I will definitely come back and go through my 3, 5, and 10 with you as well, but I wanted to share my 1 year so that you could at least see what the sheet that I created looks like and how I set it up, in case it's helpful to you at all. Then at least you'll have that. I'll also link in the description a read-only or view-only copy of this with all of the stuff taken out except for the formatting, and this way if you want to go to the link and do file, make a copy, and use this as your template, then you're more than welcome to do that. If you haven't watched the videos yet where we lay out the 3 parts to setting the goals, then I would suggest that you go do that now. I'll link the parts in the description below so that you can go through those. If you want to start with part 1 because you haven't done it at all yet, then I'll put that up here as well. But let's switch over to this sheet and I'll show you what I have. Okay, so if you're familiar with Google Sheets, this will look pretty standard to you. I've just done a little formatting. So as we had discussed before, in column A over here, you can see that I've put the 4 1-year goals themselves. In column B, I've listed the various activities that are basically like a breakdown of all the things that I should do and the order in which I should do them to achieve the goal next to it in column A. And then I put in these boxes that I can check once they're complete, because a lot of these are just pretty obvious if I've done them or not. And so I thought that that would help me sort of either be able to more clearly visualize when I've completed things and where I'm at in the process, and maybe it even gives me an added bonus of like a dopamine hit, who knows. But anyway, for 1 year I thought that breaking out my deadlines or my time frames by weekly would suffice. So up here you'll see that I have the week's goals or the week's activities and deadlines laid out. So that goes through the end of December, obviously. And then I've done this little color coding, which basically just means the green is like when you should be actively working on that thing and should be completing it. So by the last green cell in any row, you should have completed that already. When you see this orange, if that's what we want to call it, that basically means that that goal is on cue and is coming up relatively soon. And so you should start thinking about if you can get a jump start on it or get going now. When it turns yellow, then we're basically saying, okay, this is on deck, this is what's next. So do any preparation that you need, finish up anything that you need to before you get started on it, or jump right in if you can just get going on it now and you have time. And then we're back to the green. So orange, yellow, green, all the way through. Obviously, as you go down the rows, those things happen after each other. That's the whole point of putting things in a sequence that we talked about in row B. That is not just the activities that are required to accomplish the goal, but that's truly the order in which I'll do those activities. I think the only other thing to note for now is that I've broken everything up in terms of the 4 time frames that we use. I've broken them out into separate tabs. It seemed much more straightforward to me to be able to organize them that way. So here I have my 1 year, my 3, 5, and 10 year, and I put when those should be accomplished by. So I should accomplish my 3-year goals by the end of 2023. Some of them, potentially I'll accomplish them in 2022 even, but they still extended beyond that 1 year, so they fit into this 3-year time frame. And so just a note on how I'm using this visualization for the coming weeks, especially when things get a little bit busier, say there's a lot more activity in April and May, for example. So the week of April 25th, I could look and I could say, okay, I should be actively accomplishing this goal, and then I should be thinking about this one. I should be actively accomplishing this goal, or activity, I should say. I should be getting really ready to start on this one. And so this helps me plan the week and know what it is that I need to be doing in order to hit my deadlines. Obviously, when you make your copy of this, if you do so, you can freeze these cells, these columns, so that you can see them as you scroll. So now when I scroll through, I can see, okay, it's the week of May 23rd. I need to be putting on my to-do list or on my schedule as I'm planning my week to learn how to identify animal tracks. I need to be meditating 4 times this week and every week moving forward. And I need to be getting close to finishing the Bhagavad Gita. I need to have gotten myself very, very close to or under 235 pounds. And I need to be researching the best place to visit in New Hampshire. If I think that I found it, then I can start to share the idea. I think yellow is definitely free rein to just get started if you have time. For that matter, orange is too, I'm sure. It's probably just a factor of don't start going out of order and getting way too far ahead of yourself, because you might have other things that you should be paying attention to. So make sure that you're tackling all of your greens first. If you happen to have a lull in the greens and have time, move on to your yellows. But the tricky thing will be, as I start to fill in these 3, 5, and 10s, I'll have to reference the same time frame to see if there's anything that I should be doing that week or that month that contribute to those goals as well. So it won't be as simple as I'm just taking on these 4. I'm actually taking on 16, but they're going to hit at different time periods. So we'll see what it's like as everything gets fully fleshed out. So as soon as I can, I'll check back in and I'll share my 3-year, and I'll just go through updates as I get all of the tabs done and separate them out. And then we'll kind of go through what the overall function of this visualization of these goals and timelines and how to transition what's here onto your daily or weekly or monthly calendar so that you can accomplish these activities. We'll have a sense of what that looks like when we get through all of these tabs. In any case, I hope your goal setting is going well. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave those below. And of course, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. And I look forward to seeing you the next time.